Live news of Ghislaine Maxwell's arrest by the FBI. This story culminates nearly a year of the Epstein investigation without any developments whatsoever, and has left victims publicly asking whether they will ever actually get justice. And as we noted in our live reaction, a lot of very powerful people have a lot to lose if Maxwell begins talking, and it appears now that is very much a possibility. The details emerging from Maxwell's situation are wild. The government's case against her isn't even for any recent crimes. All of the ones being charged against Maxwell occurred in the late 1990s, largely with the same pattern that she displayed throughout her entire life. She served as the alleged chief procurer of young girls for Epstein, often allegedly participating in many of the sexual assaults. And in a press conference after her arrest, the FBI noted that Maxwell is being charged with victimizing a girl as young as 14, and specifically notes in her court filing that Maxwell's powerful network of friends and individuals is why she poses a major flight risk from the United States perspective. So that network of powerful friends helped her evade capture over the last year or so. They hid her in their homes, all because she knows exactly what they did. So just to give you an idea of the sheer horror of what these people were engaged in enabling, here is one of Maxwell's victims describing her experience from 1991.
She did rape me. I would say it's more than 20 or 30 times. She is a rapist, destroyed what was supposed to be the best years of my life, being a teenager, being a cheerleader.
Maxwell's arrest has many asking the most obvious question. Will she reveal what she knows about the many powerful people who participated in her sex trafficking ring? Now recall, powerful people who've already been accused of sexual misconduct at one of Epstein's residences or at the command of one of his victims include billionaires, former Israeli heads of state, foreign princes, media elites, famous lawyers, many, many more. Those are just the ones that we know about. So to give you an idea of just how connected Maxwell was, here are photos that came out over the weekend showing Maxwell sitting on the British royal throne alongside Kevin Spacey. A private palace tour was reportedly arranged by Prince Andrew for Maxwell and her guests, including actor Kevin Spacey, former President Bill Clinton, who is said to have been off to the side in that same photo. Andrew and Clinton remain the two single-profile men that can be definitively linked for a long time to Maxwell. Now, Maxwell was so ingratiated to Clinton, she scored herself a pretty good seat at Chelsea Clinton's wedding, and is known to have traveled on the same private plane as Clinton during the same trip that they apparently visited Buckingham Palace and elsewhere. So recall that Netflix's recent documentary features an interview of a tech worker at Epstein's private island, alleging that Clinton was once seen on the island where hundreds of assaults took place, though he denies ever being there. Now, Clinton may have a lot to worry about, although Prince Andrew apparently may be okay. Laura Goldman, she's a former close associate of Maxwell's, told the Daily Telegraph that Maxwell would likely remain loyal to Prince Andrew because he helped launch her socialite career in New York City. But she was much more likely to, quote, sell out somebody like Bill Clinton. And another former associate of Epstein, Stephen Hoffenberg, he told Page Six, quote, she's going to be naming some big names, not only in terms of those who abused underage girls at Epstein's parties, but also those who made financial arrangements with Epstein or benefited from his generosity, including flying on his plane or staying at his homes. Even more interesting was Hoffenberg's revelation that Maxwell herself was shocked to be arrested because, quote, Ghislaine thought that she was untouchable, that she'd be protected by intelligence communities. She and Jeffrey helped with information, the Israeli intelligence services, Les Wexner, who was given millions to Israel, by Prince Andrew, President Clinton, and even by President Trump, who was well known to be an acquaintance of her and Epstein's. So one thing that is essential for all of us is to refuse to let up on this case, because only if we demand answers at the highest level of scrutiny will we ever be able to get any answers about who is implicated and who is not, because people in power just have far too much to lose from the truth ever actually coming out. And Crystal, I wish you'd been around